Dr. Mhanna was successfully showed us the progression of cataract surgery, starting from the couching all the way to the impressive phacoemulsification, and was looking for the next step. So allow me, Dr. Mhanna, to tell you that the future starts today. And let me help you to introduce you a little bit to the femtosecond cataract surgery. So I have no financial disclosures. So simply, the femtosecond laser is a type of laser that emits optical pulses with a certain frequency. What makes it special is that it allows cutting the tissue in very precise manner. This has been in use since 2001 for the corneal surgeons, but recently got introduced for the cataract surgeons. So is there really a need to have this shift from the normal to the femtosecond cataract surgery? The answer is yes, because the studies have shown that those patients seeking perfect vision, when they go into LASIK, they get better results than those seeking refractive surgery through the clear lens extraction. So there is something missing in our cataract surgeries that we need to really address. So if these are the steps or the main steps in the cataract surgeries, could the refractive surgery or could the femtosecond laser help us to achieve better results in these? Regarding the incision, we have always been through all the past 2 days talking about the perfect incision and how to do a 3-step incision. Imagine if you could do it every time for every single patient. That would be really great. At the same time, the anterior capsulotomy, we're talking about the perfect size, the 5.5. We're talking about good centration for the capsule because that would affect the effective lens position and in turn will give you a better outcome for the vision. So imagine if you could do this for all your patients. And this is just an example, a comparison between the manual capsulohexis with expert surgeons and those performed with femtosecond laser. In the same time, regarding the lens fragmentation, would you like to do phaco with less power so that your patients get the wow effect next day and seeing 20/20? Of course, nobody would like to have the opposite. So this is what we went through when we, at the Dhahran Eye Specialist Hospital, when we wanted to obtain our femtosecond laser. So we wanted to get to step one more step into the future and to see what is the best machine that we can invest into and what benefits it gives. And does it really, at the end, worth it? So in order to choose the best machine, you have to assess these 4 steps: the docking method of the machine, the scanning method, the easy mobility for patients to the machine and for the machine itself, and finally, how easy it is to be used by the surgeon. Regarding the docking machine, there are 2 docking methods for the femto machines. The first is the applanation method, in which direct contact from the machine to the patient would be applied. The second is the immersion technique, where you have a fluid interface in between. The benefit of the second type is that it provides less pressure on the eye. If we move to the scanning methods, there are 2 methods for scanning. Most of the machines will depend on the OCT. The only one single machine will go for the Schimmelpflug, like a Pentacam-based devices to scan the machine. And in order to know if the scanning is good or bad, you have to evaluate the outcome. So we requested demos before we obtain our machine to compare head-to-head these machines. This is an example of the Schimmelpflug-based technology. So, and here I'm going to compare the capsulohexis in both type of machines. If you notice here in this Schimmelpflug-based machines, once you do the capsulohexis, just you have to move it a little bit from the middle, and it is fully free to be obtained outside. Sometimes actually we face cases where just by the injection of viscoelastic, you end up by having a free-floating capsulohexis. When we compared it to the OCT-based devices, unfortunately, the outcome was not similar, because in these cases, still you have these small tags at the peripheral part of the capsule, which, if not being dealt with care, can lead to anterior capsular extension. So if you can see here, still, despite doing the capsulohexis using the femtosecond laser, still you need to move your hand the same way that you do it normally with the capsulohexis, which to us, this is less perfect than what we are expecting. So you can see that it is still attached with some stickiness, and that's not what we are looking for. When we compared the wound creation, it's always reminded me with riding a bull, because we have tried it all. And we have tried to make the wounds from 3-step to 2-step. We tried to enlarge our wounds. We changed the level of the wounds that has been cut. Despite this, our outcome was a failure. So no matter what we did, as you can see here, achieving a good wound every time was not possible for us. So old is gold. And what we have stuck to until today is to do our wounds by ourselves. So in this part of the surgery, both machines have failed, the Shimaflug and the OCT-based machines. When we compared the easy mobility of the machines, we're not talking about here about moving the machine from one room to the other, but in the same time also talking about how patients can go to the machine and from and to the machine. In Dhahran Eye Specialist Hospital, we run 4 rooms in the same time, and our design is to have a feeding room outside the main OR so that all surgeons can use it in the same time. So machines comes in 2 types. One that has a bed, the other one that doesn't have a bed. So our choice was we want the one without the bed so that we can use our mobile OR table for the patients. They come to the machine, get the cuts done, and then they moved inside to the OR so that they can continue their surgery. So when we put them all head to head, this is what we have found, that the Shimaflug based provided the water interface docking. It was more accurate, the mobility was very fantastic, and the ease of use is very easy. So we went ahead and we got that machine, and now we want to evaluate the benefits that we had from it. So these are the major benefits that we have found. When you deal with, and this is what we discovered after the first 200 cases that we have done. So when dealing with hard cases, the phaco chop would really change. You're really going to change your way from chopping the nucleus to just touching the nucleus. So the nucleus is already pre-chopped. All what you have to do is just to touch it, and you see the floating pieces because these already have been pre-cut for you. Just touch the nucleus. It comes to you very easily. The smaller pieces comes. All what you have to do is just stay in the middle, apply a little bit of phaco, and everything comes to you in no time. That was really beneficial. I wouldn't say that in extreme hard cases it is that effective, but up to nuclear sclerosis 3+ or near 4+, that would be a really good choice to have. Let me move to handling more of a premium cases. When you are dealing with premium cases, multifocal or toric lenses, it is crucial to have an excellent capsular hexis. This is in one term that would be enclosing the lens itself inside the bag, and in the same time, if it would provide a better stability for the lens to prevent it from rotation, that will be even an extra benefit. To tell you the truth, in these cases, one of the best things that you have is that you always have the good size of the capsular hexis, so that when you put your lens, you're not afraid that it is going to move outside. Even when you do the IA at the end, and sometimes in the normal cases, you notice that the lens would pop up into the AC once you go out. This is not something that you're going to see with the femtosecond because of the size of the lens. And second part is the rotation of the lens, but this is based on my personal notice, is that I don't see much of rotation after the surgeries when it is conducted by the femtosecond laser, as if it is the fibrosis is happening much faster in these cases. When dealing with more difficult cases, like the subluxated cases, this is where the laser machine becomes a beauty. So in these kind of machines, you really choose exactly where you do want to place your capsular hexis and exactly the size that you want for your capsular hexis. As you can see, this is the interface for the machine that we are using. So initially, this was the size of the capsular hexis that we have determined, and this is the arrow shows you the edge of the lens. So we decided we don't want it too near to the edge. So all what you have to do is to shift your capsular hexis place and put the exact size. As you can see now, the perfect size of the capsular hexis has been conducted. The surgery will take 7 seconds. If you do it manually, it will take you at least half an hour to achieve the capsular hexis, which is the most crucial point in dealing with subluxated lenses. So in 7 seconds, the whole process got finished. So when we come up to evaluate, does it really worth it? If we're talking about the financial part, then I can tell you, sorry, doesn't worth it. This is a huge investment, and your return will take a long time to get it. But if you're talking about adding services to your patients, being able to handle the difficult cases like we have seen more perfectly than before, then yes, the laser refractive surgery or the laser machines will give you one level up of your performance. So in conclusion, I just would like to say that laser refractive surgery is a way to the future. Unfortunately, currently, because of the high prices, it doesn't take its place in the market. And because of the high skills of our surgeons, it is still a limiting factor. Thank you very much.